This is Rummy's Corner. When Muhammad Ali challenged Joe Frazier for the heavyweight championship in the lead up to their first fight, it represented one of the most interesting and unique situations we have had in the long, rich history of heavyweight boxing. We had two elite-level, undefeated heavyweights, both very close to their prime age, and both of whom had legitimate claims to the heavyweight championship. It was a fight the fans wanted, it was a fight the fans got, and it was a fight that lived up to and even exceeded its lofty expectations. It was an instant classic that served as a launchpad to the most famous trilogy in boxing history. The fight of the century indeed. Compare that to another situation, one that's coming up on its 3-year anniversary, when Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao finally squared off after years of a seemingly endless process of build-up and posturing. During this super extended build-up period, both boxers aged, they both slowed down, and Pacquiao suffered a devastating knockout loss at the hands of longtime rival Juan Manuel Marquez. This crushed the entire mystique about what made the prospects of a Floyd-Pacquiao matchup so magical. They did wind up fighting, and it was an unprecedented financial success, but the fight itself was dull and uneventful as Floyd cruised to a lopsided points victory. Unlike the situation between Ali and Frazier, which lived up to and exceeded expectations, by comparison, Pacquiao and Floyd was a huge disappointment. With negotiations reportedly underway for a big showdown between WBC champion Deontay Wilder and unified WBA, IBF, WBO champion Anthony Joshua, which road will these two choose? Already, I'm seeing frightening similarities to the situation with Pacquiao and Mayweather. We have a situation, again, where promoters and boxers are making statements back and forth, and these public negotiation type of tactics we see, they often signify that the fight is not imminent, and a lot of fans are drawn right into the drama of it all. We have fans having spirited arguments over A side, B side, purse splits, drawing power, and all of the likes. While the business aspect of boxing is a valid topic of discussion that warrants genuine consideration, it amazes me how some fans seem more interested in arguing over what the purse split should be than of actually seeing the fight get made now. In that sense, I believe the lasting legacy of Mayweather-Pacquiao is to prolong mega fights as long as possible before cashing out later on at the last possible minute. I mean, if you can get the rewards before the glory, then who cares about the glory? But I sincerely hope that Wilder and Joshua break this trend, that they break this legacy as I see it of Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I hope that Joshua and Wilder, that they make whatever compromises are necessary to bring this fight together sooner rather than later. It would be great for the division, it would be great for boxing as a whole, and it would be great for the fans and all involved. My fear is, the longer these two wait, the more likely we are to see a situation where one, or both of them, suffer a loss like Pacquiao did at the hands of Marquez. In the lead up to the first showdown between Ali and Frazier, it was a unique situation where we had two undefeated elite-level talents, both very close to being physically prime, and both of whom had legitimate claims to the championship. Today we have an even more unique situation where we in fact have three undefeated elite-level talents. All three very close to being physically in their prime years, with all three having legitimate claims to the heavyweight championship. Deontay Wilder is the reigning WBC champion, Anthony Joshua is the reigning unified WBA, IBF, WBO champion, and Tyson Fury still holds a legitimate claim as the lineal heavyweight champion. Tyson Fury was the one who dethroned longtime champion Vladimir Klitschko. And like Muhammad Ali before him, Fury never lost his titles inside the ring. And it's worth noting that Fury dominated Vladimir, a man who had hardly lost a round over the course of an entire decade. A year later, Anthony Joshua had a lot of trouble with Vladimir. He rallied on strong at the end to score a late knockout, but by comparison, Fury toyed with Klitschko. And now, Tyson Fury has announced that he will at last be making his long-awaited return to the squared circle on June 9th. And with Fury officially set to return, this might well be the most interesting and potentially exciting heavyweight landscape we've seen since the 1990s, or perhaps maybe even since the 1970s. I'm not saying that Deontay Wilder is the modern-day George Foreman, and I'm not saying that Anthony Joshua is the modern-day Joe Frazier, and I'm also not saying that Tyson Fury is the modern-day Muhammad Ali. But we have a potentially very interesting situation on our hands right now. If Tyson Fury can return to prior form when he defeated Vladimir, I think he'd have a good chance of beating Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I'm not saying it's a given, as you can never count those two guys out against any heavyweight, but style-wise, I believe Fury presents a more difficult challenge for both Wilder and Joshua than either of those two does for each other. But that's the big question. Can Tyson Fury ever truly return to form? And if not, how close can he come? Fury has dropped a lot of weight, but he's been inactive now for a very long stretch. I can't help but thinking of the Riddick Bowe example, where Bowe was gaining a lot of weight in between fights, which many believe ultimately contributed to his quick peak and his fast demise. Will Tyson Fury even begin fighting regularly enough to get sharp and have a big showdown with a Wilder or a Joshua in the foreseeable future? Whatever happens, Tyson Fury making his official return to the ring, it only serves to add to the intrigue of an already interesting heavyweight landscape. Could you imagine if in the next 2.5 years or so, we get to see Joshua versus Wilder happen next, right now, while it makes perfect sense, and then maybe after that, we see an immediate rematch or Fury against the winner, and some type of a schedule where the circumstances dictate that Wilder and Joshua and Fury will all be involved in some type of a round-robin affair, with at least one rematch mixed in over the next 30 months or so. Perhaps this is just a pipe dream on my part, but I really hope and believe something like this could conceivably be in the cards. I understand that boxing is a business, and in this day and age, elite-level superstars can reap the rewards without obtaining the glory. And with Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and all of their respective management teams, we have some big egos dealing with one another here. But at the same time, I genuinely do get the sense that Wilder, Joshua, and Fury, that all three of them truly do want to prove themselves as the best of the lot. And if their desire to prove themselves against the best leads to some common sense compromises, then maybe we will get to see some kind of a cool schedule like that in the heavyweight division over the next 30 months. And hopefully this will result in fans arguing over who will win in an exciting upcoming mega bout, instead of arguing over who deserves what split of the purse. So I'm thrilled to see Tyson Fury will be back in action, and I'm hopeful that Joshua and Wilder's teams will make the necessary compromises to make this fight happen soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and have a great night.